So we have a set of notes in Schoology. You know the drill. All right, so this next few days in here is we're going to try to show you different techniques to estimate enthalpies of the heat of reaction. So few different ways to do this. Straight up Hess's law using heats of formation, and bond energies. Okay, so let's start with Hess's law today. All right, so delta H is known for many reactions. However, it is inconvenient to measure delta H for every reaction that we are interested. Imagine having to do calorimetry for every single reaction to figure out what the energy of it is. Okay, so instead of doing that, we have some shortcuts that will help us do that will help us skip having to do calorimetry. So we can estimate delta H using published delta H values for specific reactions that other people have already done the calorimetry for. So essentially the idea here is that if a reaction is carried out in a series of steps, delta H for the overall reaction will be equal to the sum of the enthalpy changes for the individual steps. So if you can find some smaller reactions that add up, or in other words, get you from the reactants to the products, you can use the delta H's of those to figure out what the overall delta H for the reaction is. So imagine that I was burning methane, combustion of methane, and turning that into carbon dioxide and water. Okay, and I didn't know the delta H of it. But let's say I did know the delta H of taking carbon monoxide, or turning methane and oxygen into carbon monoxide and water, as well as some oxygen. Okay, let's say someone else had done that, and we know that the delta H of that is -607. And then we also know the reaction of going from carbon monoxide, water, and oxygen to carbon dioxide and water. And someone did the calorimetry for that, and they got -283. Well, we could then use those two, adding them together, to give us the overall enthalpy of our reaction, which would be -890 kilojoules. That's the essence of Hess's law. If we can figure out a way to manipulate the delta H's of known reactions and the equations of known reactions to give us the reaction we want, the target reaction, we can estimate the enthalpies of reaction. So there are two basic laws for doing this. Basically, we can take our known reaction and reverse it. If we do, the delta H just changes to the opposite sign. We can also take a known reaction and we can do a multiple or a proportion of its coefficients. So multiply all the coefficients by 2 or 4 or divide them all by 2, etc. We can do that, and what that does is it proportionally changes the value of delta H. So if we double all the coefficients in the known equation, we then double the delta H, for example. So let me show you this in an example, and you can go ahead and do this along with me in your notes. All right, so Hess's law. It says, determine the delta H value for the reaction above, given the known enthalpies of the reactions below. All right, so on the top here, we have our target reaction. On the bottom here, we have our known reactions. All right, so the way that I go about doing this is I start looking and I go, okay, I want to see how do I take these two equations up here and turn them in to this equation on the top by in some way manipulating them and then adding their resulting enthalpies. All right. So my approach to this is to go ahead and what basically I want to do is I want to build this equation up here with all of these chemicals in it. And so the way I want to start this is I want to look up here and I want to see where do I find each of these? Well, you'll notice that Fe2O3 is only found in our first equation. Okay. You'll notice that CO is found in both our first and our second equation. FeO is only found in the second equation, and CO2 is again found in both equations. Okay. So I'm going to start working on this by working with species that are only found in one equation. So that would be the Fe2O3 and the FeO. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's look at the Fe2O3. So we'll notice that in our target reaction, the Fe2O3 is on the reactant side. We'll notice that in our known equation, it is also on the reactant side. Okay, so as a result of that, they're both on the same side. I have the same coefficient in front of both of them, so I am not going to do any changes that have to do with Fe2O3 right now. Okay. Secondly, the other one that's found in only one of them is going to be the FeO. Okay, we find that in the second one. Well, I'm going to notice here that the FeO in my target equation is on the product side and has a coefficient of 2. Okay, in my known equations, it's on the reactant side and it has a coefficient of 1. So what I need to do is, in order to get this on the product side, I need to reverse this equation, and I need to multiply it by 2 in order to get me a 2 in front of there. All right? So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do that. So I'm going to rewrite my two equations once I've gone ahead and reversed it and flipped the sign. All right? So you'll notice again, I didn't have to make any changes to the top equation, and I took the bottom equation and I went ahead and I doubled it and reversed it. So we would have the two FeOs on the right side of the equation. All right, so now I've got those two things together, and we're going to hope that the two things that appeared in both equations will work themselves out as a result of that. So let's go ahead and let's do some elimination then. Okay, so essentially if something's on the product side of one reaction, it will eliminate anything on the same thing on the reactant side of the other reaction. Okay, so essentially here we're doing our Hess's law and we are adding things together. Okay, so I see that I got iron on the reactant side and I've got it on the product side. So that will eliminate. Okay, Fe2O3 I only have on this side, so that's not going to work there. I'll just leave it as it is. Let's do carbon dioxide. I've got 2 carbon dioxide on the reactant side, 3 carbon dioxide on the product side. So I'm going to eliminate 2 of them there, eliminating 2 of the 3, so I'm going to be left with just 1 CO2 up there. All right. And then the carbon monoxide, again, there's 3 here on the reactant side, 2 here on the product side. So I'm going to eliminate those 2, and that will eliminate 2 of those 3 carbon monoxides and leave it there. And then the FeO is by itself. So if I take what I've got left then, I got Fe2O3 plus CO goes to 2FeO plus CO2. Which is exactly my target reaction. Okay, so the last thing I need to do then is, because in order to do that elimination, I was going ahead and I was adding those equations together. I just need to add these together, which will give me an overall delta H of negative 1.56 kilojoules. Okay. So again, look for species that are found in the target reaction and only in one of the known equations. Manipulate those so that you can get things on the right side and have the right coefficient value in front of them, making sure to flip signs when we reverse equations and double or change or proportionally change the values of delta H when we change the coefficients. Okay. At the end, we add them together, and when we add, reactants and products cancel each other, and so I end up with this, with our estimate for our enthalpy of reaction at the end.